School and college memories fade away over the time, but the question professor recently gave my class remains and in fact has been incorporated in all of our lives. Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? I couldn't answer the question immediately. In my face reveal video, I saw myself living in America and having 5 kids, but then I lost my balls after being hit by a bus. I took my head because son doesn't like me much, and I went on a journey in search for an answer to the question. Before hitting the road, I want you to write down in comments below where do you see yourself in 5 years from now. Then in July 2028, we will observe your comments to see whether you were right about your predictions. So this November I'll be 22 years old. But I really feel and physically look like I'm only 16. When my parents were my age, they were getting married, already had a house. I have never been in a relationship. Sometimes I wonder, is there something wrong with me? Or is this a generational problem? It has been proven how Gen Z is unexperienced with independence and is developing slower than previous generations. The studies have found that today's teenager is less likely to try adult activities like working, driving a car, hanging out, dating, or having sex. The reason may also lie in the fact how anyone who grew up in 2000s was raised for the world which actually doesn't exist anymore. I still remember when online dating was considered weird. Over-obsession with amount of TikTok or Instagram followers you have was non-existing. Instead, you were socializing with real-life people. And now everything has changed. I just finished my 3rd year of college, and again, my parents seem more happier than I am. Quite the opposite. I feel sadness. I won't be seeing my friends on a regular weekday anymore. The biggest reason I enjoyed attending college semesters was actually because of socialization with people my age. From kindergarten to college, our lonely generation is blessed with an opportunity to make friends every single day. No matter how much school sucks, communicating with the boys, making eye contact with your crush, none of the Zoom class meetings can replicate that. Now I'm starting to realize that my college friends were perhaps my only friends. Everyone has scattered into different cities, some perhaps even countries, and I am just running away from loneliness. While riding my bicycle, a familiar little hole under the heart grabbed my attention. It was my favorite hiding place when I used to play hide and seek with my cousins, but now I grew so tall that I can't even get in anymore. I was saddened by the fact that I won't be able to bring those years back. My childhood, it's all gone. From the squatting position, I remembered how different was seeing the world from child's perspective. Feelings of child innocence, the impossibility of completely seeing your surroundings unless you stand on your tippy toes. The world seemed so huge back then, and I was trying to make a sense of it. But my experience of living in the moment was suddenly ended by the message notification on a smartphone. Advanced technology took away from modern generation this unique experience of living for the moment. And Gen Z never had more dopamine releasers at the palm of their hand. Combination of video games, pornography, drugs created this escapism from reality. These childish hobbies are cool as you're growing up, but the bigger amount of Gen Z maintain these things throughout their 20s. By consuming these pleasurable hobbies, we're constantly trapping ourselves into some sort of a fantasy world, shrinking the actual comfort zone by building almost like a giant wall around us. Each gameplay adds another brick on the wall, and each look at Rachel's star results just a stronger concrete that is decreasing our chances for any getaway. And I don't want to sound like a total hypocrite. I mean, I did all these things, and you probably did too. But these addictive traits doesn't allow individual to look out into the huge world to try to make a sense of it. I think we're lacking this feeling of independence the previous generations had. When my grandfather was my age in the 1960s, he already experienced so much more than I probably ever will. As a proud baby boomer, he told me stories about buying Ford Mustang, dancing to Beatles with his date. His teenage years puts an average Gen Z like me straight into depression. Based on his stories, interestingly, people seemed more mature back then as well. It's hard putting this into words, but everything seemed more real. Girls weren't dressed so provocatively and served themselves on Tinder like just another piece of meat. Boys were dressed in suits and behaved like chivalrous by holding doors for a woman. Today's cancel culture marks you as a sexist if you do that. Dating meant something more serious than just a one-night stand. Today, consumerism has replaced love. Love has become measured in amount of cars you have, size of biceps, or jewelry. Gen Z have started to view people as commodities that can be exchanged, consumed, and disposed of. But it's really fascinating how at the end of the day, we're all just a reflection of our time. Constant busyness and stimulation are getting in way of being fully alive. Even before smartphones took over, a 1980s teenage comedy Ferris Bueller's Day Off predicted this with the quote, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it." I will always observe this specific street. It was during one summer night in 2017 when I put Ferris' words into action. Next to the road was what seemed like an abandoned cat loudly mewing, so I stopped my bike, concerned that car might have hit her. Two passing brunette girls in their 20s immediately got closer when noticed the black cat. And women are naturally more emotionally empathetic to animals due to having higher estrogen levels than men. One of the girls said, "What a cute little eyes he has." For some reason, instinctively, I said thanks, like she was referring to me instead of a cat. You see, this cat metaphorically symbolized my emotional state at the time, of what seemed like being almost abandoned by friends and girls. It was when I started attending high school and meeting new friends was difficult to an introverted person like me. The moment those girls came, a little cat was approached and taken away by her mother, just the way those two girls took away me on their way home. We started a long conversation. And this could mean if we're feeling abandoned or alone, we might just have to step out in the open to meet new people by grabbing some attention. This cat served me an opportunity to meet these girls from Canada and potentially maybe develop a relationship. However, in front of their house, their mother was sitting and immediately recognized me by yelling, "Hello, cousin!" And that was how I met my Canadian cousins. I never even knew they existed. My overall point is, nothing teaches us more than exploring the world through accumulating experiences. Through experiences, we are expanding our comfort zone and making a progress of our character development. So where do I see myself in 5 years? I have no freaking idea. But I can tell you one thing, from now on, I'm gonna totally try dedicating myself to uploading YouTube videos consistently, at least once a week. By July 2028, hopefully I'll reach 100,000 subscribers. That is my goal, that is my dream, even though I cannot slide through small holes anymore. In your 20s, time is still pretty much on your side. You're not married yet, or you don't even have a girlfriend, which can absolutely benefit you as it allows you this flexibility to take risks in life. Your expectations can sound equally unrealistic down in comments, just like mine, but I truly believe as long as you put your mind into something or become over-obsessed about it, then you can accomplish anything. This was your boy Introvert. Thank you guys for watching this video. Move your eyes off the screen, go outside, take a swim, take a bicycle, circle around your hometown just like I did. As you can see, I've been to Florida. I mean,